All right, welcome everyone to the Arts Academy podcast. Hope everybody's doing well. Only a few weeks of school left, so let's talk about. Let's start off. We'll talk about some important dates for everyone, and then we'll go into some other stuff. First, the Friday, the 11th, June 11th, is the end of the marking period for all seniors. So senior grades are due at the 11th. That's going to be early. We talked about a little bit about this before. Senior grades are due just to give the guidance counselors enough time to send them off to any colleges that need them. End of the marking period for everybody else is the 12th. So you get another Thursday. 11th is next Thursday, so that's 1 week. The 12th is next Friday. So freshmen, sophomores, and juniors, your marking period last day is Friday the 12th, with grades being due on the 17th. So that gives you a couple days leeway there to work with your teachers and to turn in any missing work. Seniors, just make sure that everything is turned in, everything is ready to go. You got a week left, and then your grades are final, and they're not going to get changed. So just make sure everything is in there that you need. After the 17th, we have the last day of school is the 19th, and that's a Friday, and on the following Monday, your report cards will be sent home through school messenger. So again, we really not a lot of time left for anybody. So hopefully everybody's wrapping up all their classes and finishing up all their work for their different periods. Boosh dropped out here. Kathy, you want to? Okay, do you guys want to talk a little bit about scheduling, how that's going?
Yeah, I mean, everything looks good. There were some students that I know I had a contact to pick their majors in MVA. Some didn't see that there was notice put out to pick classes. So just, keep checking emails and Google Classroom just in case. But I think on my end, I think everybody's kind of set right now. If anybody has questions, just email me. I'll get back to you. I don't know if you have.
I still have to reach out to my rising juniors. So if you're a sophomore and you didn't register for classes, I'm going to find that on Power School, and I'm going to just contact you to figure out what you would need and what you want.
And again, for the students, it's important for them to realize that they can't select anything on their own at this point. They have to go through their guidance counselor.
Yeah. You can't really do it yourself anymore. But if you were in MVA and you missed it and you didn't pick your major for junior year, then just let us know.
Yes.
Ms. Urbano, you want to? She's running away. So we have a question from Ms. Reyes about graduation signs. So I think you have a little bit of information about that, right?
You're muted.
You're muted.
Mute.
We ordered a lawn sign for every graduate. So it's like, I don't know how big it is. Kathy, do you remember?
It's like 3x2 maybe?
It's like
I don't know.
I'm about the math teacher. It's like 3 feet by 2 feet. It's about that.
They're super nice lawn signs. They have your year and the high tech and district logos. I really like them, and they come with stakes so that you can put them in on your front lawns. If you don't have a front lawn, and when you come to pick up your package, just let us know. We have some adhesives, so if you want to put it on your windows or something like that, just let us know. But we don't have enough for everybody, so if you are going to use the lawn stake, then don't ask for an adhesive. Thanks. But yeah, we have those.
I can't read those other comments because I don't.
It might be the spam or a troll or something. I don't know.
Do you kick that person out?
Wow, you got views.
I'll figure it out. Mr. Ricciardi, you want to talk a little bit about some work we've been doing in the theater the last week?
Yeah, we have we've started a couple projects. We had some things that we wanted to work on. The one thing that we did do was in the main stage theater. For those of you who have performed and have been on the stage or backstage, you know that there were orchestra shells that were on the right and left side of it, and also I guess in the third line set and like the seventh line set, they've been removed. Those two orchestra shells, they've been put into storage. So that allows us to move a couple of the line sets forward. I think there's one line set that's coming forward, and then there's going to be more lights coming in on the main stage. So we're trying to do a lot of work in the main stage and the black box theater. Things that are going to be happening moving forward in the black box theater. We've had some issues with the lights because the light grid is way too high. So we're going to be putting those lights on motors, and we're working towards that now. We do have a quote, and we're working on that. So I assume that'll be done over the next few weeks. Also in the black box theater, we have curtains that were ordered to basically completely black out all light for performances. So that should be done. We decided that we're going to be putting a control booth on the main floor, so on the first floor. Shep was at school the other day, basically decided where that was going to be. So we're going to work on getting that done. I'm trying to think, what else? Did I forget anything else that we're working on? I feel like there's one other thing in the main stage we're working on. If I think of it, I'll let you know. But that's off the top of my head. Those are the main projects.
Order new lights, motorized mover lights too.
Yeah, we ordered new lights, and then we also have more lights coming in next year with Perkins. That was really something that Trista put together. She's the liaison for performing arts, so we were able to pull down the line sets that we had there to see the make and model of those lights. Trista got some lights similar to those, and then some other lights that they wanted for various performances. So we have a good assortment of new stuff coming into the two theaters.
Very good.
What is Bono doing right now? She's got a lot going on, but she's on mute.
I was on mute, but now I'm not. No, I was talking to Jose.
All right.
Sorry.
And it is with very, very sad news that Mr. Bono will not be joining us in summer school math.
Woo!
She is going to take this summer off.
I'm so excited. It was a hard decision, honestly, very hard decision. I'm sorry, Tony, to leave you hanging there, but I wanted to really enjoy my summer and continue to work on a lot of personal goals. Also, I think the wedding is still happening, so I feel like I should probably start doing something for it. So yeah, I don't regret it.
For those students who did sign up for summer school math, your teacher will be contacting you. I know I put all my students into Google Classroom already, so your individual teachers will contact you and let you know the specific schedule that they are going to have for their class. So just like during the school year, every teacher is going to do things a little bit differently. Same thing during the summer. I know me personally, I'm going to try to do a few live sessions a week and then have office hours where I'll always be available online for kids to pop in and ask questions. But that's going to be up to the individual teacher. Maybe Mr. Richard, you can address this one from Ms. Reyes for lockers and school and items.
There is no date right now that students can do that. We're actually starting to go in next week. We just kind of got the approval to be in the building on more of an extended basis. Teachers just got an email that they can actually go into the building 10 at a time. So that's part of the issue. They're gonna have to clean out lockers, but we can only have a certain number of people in the building. So the logistics of how that's gonna happen are gonna be worked out probably next week. So right now I don't have a date for that. A bunch of us were there yesterday, myself, Mr. Bono. Mr. Bush, Ms. Alvarez, we were all there yesterday getting stuff together for graduation. All other teachers were basically sent an email yesterday and today, as everybody knows, about cleaning out their classroom. But again, there are a lot of restrictions, and that's what I guess everybody is concerned with their individual, whether it be a locker, whether it be, how do I get, certain things back that were left in the building, whether it be in a classroom. I've had emails that kids want to get into classrooms. There's really not many people in the building at this point. So right now, moving forward to next week, there will be more in the building. And at that point, then a lot of these things that parents and students are asking, we can accommodate those things. Right now, there's just nobody really in the building to accommodate those things. So it's a little frustrating, I know, from parents and students, but it just, it takes time to do everything safely and based on the regulations that have been put on us in the school district. Pretty detailed answer there.
No, that's good. I get a few email questions as well about when somebody can go pick up this thing that they left in this place somewhere in the building.
Right.
So it's we'll figure all that out, and then we'll get that information out to all the students and the parents. I know we're getting close to the end of the year here, so it will hopefully come sooner rather than later. This is for Miss Urbano, if you couldn't see it. So good job.
Thank you. I don't even know what to say. Thank you.
And I think we all really hope that everything goes back to semi-normal for the upcoming school year. I believe, I forget where we. Are you saying something, Gene? No, okay.
I'm telling Jose.
Where do we leave off with our math department meeting for placement tests? I think we canceled them, right? For freshman placement tests, incoming freshmen.
I think we might just be looking at test scores.
Yeah,
because we won't have time to do it before scheduling. So.
Yeah. So for any parents out there, anybody who's watching this who has a freshman incoming, we're basically just going to look at your grades so if you passed your last class and you have a decent NJSLA score, then you'll be going to the next math class, and that's really the only class we did placement test for anyway, was math.
Well, let's just backtrack real quick, because I just found out that Gene isn't doing the summer stuff now. What is happening in the summer, math-wise?
What classes are happening?
Yeah, what classes are running in?
We still have all 5 classes. Okay. We have an incoming Algebra 1 class. We have a Geometry class, 2 Algebra 2 sections, and a pre-calc section. Now, so Miss Laughlin and I are going to do Algebra 2. Greco's doing pre-calc. And then Sabrina Vargas and Christine Jenkins are going to do the 2. Which one's which?
Sabrina, Ms. Vargas will be doing the incoming incoming freshman, and then Ms. Jenkins is doing geometry. So some of you guys who signed up for geometry would have her most likely. Yeah.
So Ms. Cruz dropped out as well.
You want the break?
Bye.
What do you guys? You guys have a little vacation planned or something? What's going
on? We just both have really thought about it and thought about what our summers were gonna look like, and we needed a little bit of a break.
I got Gene Summer in one sound.
The way the summer math class is usually the younger teachers who want to do it so they can make the extra money. And the older teachers kind of like say, okay, I've had enough of this. I want to try to relax a little bit. But I guess not.
Nope. It's going to be a very eventful summer for me. Okay, guys. I need to focus.
Do you know the Mr. Clean magic eraser?
They're in there.
Not too many questions today. No,
no, not a lot of questions at all. So we did.
Oh, I have an announcement.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Oh,
Student council elections are next week. Today I will be sending out, latest maybe tomorrow morning, all information about all your candidates for office. So they're preparing their video speeches right now, and then we will send them out, I think, by position. So like Monday might be treasurer and secretary positions. Tuesday will be vice president, and Wednesday will be president, tentatively. You'll get an email, so just check your emails over the weekend. So we'll give you those days to watch the speeches on your own time, kind of decide, form your opinions, and then we'll open the polls and then close them towards the end of the week. So just check your emails and really, take the time to watch these speeches. They worked hard on them. It's not easy to just record yourself in front of a camera. So, give them the time and attention, and then, should be exciting. I'm excited. And any questions, if you're running, and if you have any questions, just email us. We're always here.
Well, and again, since you're making announcements, something I've been thinking about, and I haven't really passed it off with anybody else, but I think that we should continue this podcast through the summer and even into next year.
sure.
Just because in terms of communication, there have been so many concerns with communication. If we can, over the course of 4 years, get all the students and parents involved, even if it's once school starts, even if it's once a month, we get on here for 15 minutes, half an hour. When we do have, a nice little agenda that we can put over and, put up on the screen and work off of the agenda. There is a way to share screen and show you the agenda, and we can kind of do that. I think it actually makes it a lot easier than trying to get all the parents and or students to school for a meeting, get us to school for a meeting. We can have dinner at our own houses and then kind of be in a t-shirt and a hat and sit here in front of the computer for 15 minutes, half hour, rather than being at school. Because again, if we're at school, if we have a meeting at school, and let's say it's an hour meeting, it's probably a half hour, 40 minutes that to get there, to be there when all the parents get there, and then another 15, 20 minutes after. It's really like a 2-hour ordeal for us. And it's not that I don't want to do it. Maybe we do it once or twice throughout the course of the school year, but I think we can really get the information to everybody right here in a timely fashion. So not that I'm putting everybody on the, along with me. I mean, I guess I could do it by myself, but I think you guys, for the most part, think
It definitely makes
that's a good idea for the parents.
That's not a bad idea, especially because anytime we do have a parent meeting, it always has to be at 6:00. So not only does it take time to get there, but we have to wait for all the parents to get done with work, right? Because that's the people that we want to give the information to. So maybe going home and then having a recording like this. You missed the personal interaction, though.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. We can still get that. Maybe once or twice a year, we can still get that personal interaction.
Yeah.
And again, I don't want to tease it too much, but we have a performing arts schedule for next year already. You know what I mean? We're going along and planning as if we're going to have a full school year. I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm just saying that's the plan right now. So if we can get everybody in the building and do that, that's what we want to do.
Yeah. So I think the way it sounded was like we are going to plan that everything will be exactly as it was the last couple years, and we can seat maximum people, and we can have as many shows as we want, and we can do all the stuff. And then if we have to scale back, at least we already had the dates on the calendar reserved for all the different shows. And it'll look like there was a lot of them. So.
Yeah. No, it's last year were 2 pages. This year it looked like 3 pages.
Yeah.
When I went through everything, it looked like there was more, and I think the kids need it at this point.
Yeah, more would be better. This question from Ms. Garcia here, right? If you haven't selected your major classes for next year, you have to talk to your guidance counselor. Because the selection portal is closed now, so just have whoever contact the guidance counselor and
Leah,
and they'll set a
it would be
And she's and the last comment too is that she's also willing to help with any parent-school communication, which is great to know. AP testing for this year, that should already be mostly finished. It was the last couple weeks. I don't think there's any left to go. Are there?
No.
I think they're all done, right?
I'm not really sure. I didn't have anything to do with that. Mr. Rob was the one who was coordinating that with the teachers. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure where that stands.
So each AP class had a test on a different day administered by the College Board. That's not our test. That's a state and across the country. So each test would be on a different day.
I think she's talking about the diagnostics though, because this is a rising junior.
Oh.
I think so.
Oh, to get into an AP or to get into
our APs, yeah.
Okay, so those will be by department. I know the math department was thinking about doing ours for calculus in the next couple weeks. So that'll be either sometime over the summer that each specific AP will come up with their requirements. But I don't think very many of them are going to actually have a test, an entrance exam to get into an AP test aside from calculus.
Yeah, a lot of them are based on the prerequisite is based on your previous grade. Like AP Lang, AP Lit, it depends on your previous English grade. The science courses, it depends on your grade. There is a diagnostic, but they're deciding whether or not to have it. Tone, as you just said about the math course, so it depends. Each course has a different set of prerequisites.
So so I think she has AP English language, so it just goes by the prerequisites. There's no testing for that class.
Yeah, we just go by the grade. All right, and then I guess the only other thing that I wrote down here is graduation. Mr. Bono, do you want to give a little update on where we are with graduation?
I actually had to step out of that meeting, so I don't know if my what I know is actually 100% true. So I think you guys could take it because I don't want to give out false information.
Okay, so there have been a few students who have been selected to give speeches. Those speeches are going to be recorded next week. Most of the virtual graduation, as far as I know, will be recorded over the next week, and that's the first week that we're going to be back in the building. So they're going ahead with organizing the virtual graduation. And I think the only thing that remains in jeopardy is when the virtual graduation will be. The last day of school is the 19th. I believe as of right now it is scheduled for the 19th, but I don't know if that date is going to stay on the 19th or not, because a lot of things have been delayed. Like Mr. Bonnie, you would know this probably better than me, but yearbooks, do you know when they're coming in? I know they're not in yet.
They're not. That's all I know. I know that they're not in yet. I don't know a date, but yeah, we're still waiting on those and other things too that we want to give to you guys with the rest of your caps and gowns and your diplomas and stuff. We're waiting on a few things, so that will really dictate when that happens.
When we can do that. And again, a lot of that is just based on issues with COVID-19 and supply chains and getting stuff delivered around the country. Obviously, this stuff isn't stuff that we're making. This is stuff that we had to put out to order, and it's just not in the building yet. So unfortunately, I know the yearbooks were delayed. The caps and gowns, we went in yesterday to do them. They were actually delayed for a good 3 or 4 weeks, I think. And then just all of a sudden, I think somebody got yelled at, and then all of a sudden, all the caps and gowns came in. Is the story that I heard. So, these companies, I guess they just they prioritize whoever is making the most noise at this point. But that's about it. Yeah, that's the graduation update as of right now.
All right, so I think that pretty much covers most of the stuff that we wanted to mention. Anybody else have anything they want to add, or if there's any last questions, feel free to pop them in the chat.
I think the only thing that even comes to mind is just entering school in September. I've received a couple of emails from different administration sites and things that other school districts are starting to plan to do. We're going to start planning, I guess, a little bit more into detail next week. We actually have a meeting tomorrow. We have an online meeting tomorrow, and then we'll be planning in person next week. So now that we're getting back into the building, I think, some more things will come out, but I'm very sure that it won't look like it did in January, but I'm very sure it won't look like it has for the last 4 or 5 months where we've been home. So I don't really know what's going to happen. But we're going to plan accordingly based on, whatever the state says. And most of this is coming from Governor Murphy and then the State Department of Education. They're the ones that kind of set the restrictions, and we have to adhere to what they say. So, and a lot of times we come up with ideas in meetings and then we're told, well, we can't do that because of the restrictions. And there's just, the restrictions always seem to be, they kind of come as they don't put them out all in one shot. They come in after the fact. So an announcement is made and the restriction comes out after. So it kind of limits what we can and we can't do. So, unfortunately it gets frustrating. Again, the in-person graduation, the issue with the in-person graduation is we can't do it until after July 6th. The other part with the in-person graduation is after July 6th, we have to put in a request to the state. And then at that point, it would take 7 days to, I think it's like a week or a week and a half to get it approved. And we would also have to find the site. As of right now, we don't have a site. We'd have to go somewhere else. So I don't think that they're not going to do an in-person graduation. I think they are considering it, as far as I know. But we're going to do the virtual graduation for everybody, for our students, and then maybe there will be something else. I don't really know at this point. I'm not really sure what the next plan would be.
Yeah, and graduation is not up to any of us five, so
yeah, it's not
really
up to
hard
us.
to even get
Yeah.
into it sometimes.
We just try our best to advocate, but we can't really make any decisions.
Yeah, and again, I'm stumbling through my words because, again, it's frustrating sometimes. But like, we had a plan for graduation. We measured out certain spaces, and then we didn't have enough space based on the restrictions from the state. So, I hate to say it this way, but in a lot of cases, it's the restrictions that are being put out. And I don't think everybody has all the details. Again, North Bergen High School graduation, I'm not sure where that in-person graduation is. I assume it's at Bruin Stadium. We don't have Bruin Stadium.
Yeah, we
So
don't
now
have
we're not doing it, on campus. So now we have to go somewhere else to do it. And then that takes a lot of logistics, movement, getting a stage, getting chairs, enough parking, and getting a date. And I just don't, without really knowing all the restrictions and where it could be, like, somebody else in the building would have to decide that. I don't have that power to make that decision. So
It sounds good. Like, our parking lot sounds like it seems like it's big, but when you really look at it, it won't be able to fit. Even if it was by academy and you're inviting, with just the parents' cars itself, probably just a lot, not that much room for that many cars.
yeah, and again, I think you're talking about close to 300 students. Let me see the exact number before I say 300. I think it's like 294 or something like that, right? How many kids are we graduating?
Yes, it's right. It's right there.
It's 290, 295.
Yeah. So with that number of kids, and then how many tickets are we gonna give each family? Last year, I believe we packed all the students and 6 tickets for each family into the gymnasium. We would probably be able to do the 300 students. I don't even know how we would space them out 6 feet apart on our parking lot. And then,
well, it's not even the 300 students, because now you want to give them a ticket. So you give them 2 tickets each for their 2 parents, and now it's 900 people.
Yeah.
So there's not enough physical space to space out 900 people in groups of 2, because I guess you could keep 2 family members together, but maybe they don't even live together, so maybe you can't. So maybe they do need more space. So there's a lot of stuff to think about. It's not unfortunately, it's not really super simple to just say let's go in the parking lot.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of restrictions. You know,
we
and
want
some
you guys to graduate outdoors and in person just as much as you want to, and it's it stinks that we can't give you like a definite answer.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not making excuses. I'm just telling you there are a lot of restrictions. I mean, you can go if you really want to see the restrictions. They're on the state website. You can go on the state website, and there are the list of restrictions is pretty extensive. And again, we would not be able to do it on our campus. That's already been decided. So it would have to be somewhere else if we were going to do it. But all right, so I guess that was it.
Looks like it. Anybody have any other closing thoughts?
I just want to say, everybody, if you need your counselor to talk to, we're here. This has been like a really difficult time for some people. So we're still here.
Yep, we're here whenever you need it. Just send us an email.
And I'm going to be reaching out to the sophomores that are going to be rising juniors. I think you already did, right, Mike?
Yeah, I kind of checked to see who from MVA didn't pick their majors, and I just called only a few, and they've responded. So
it's just the one. So I think I already checked on Leah, and she's good. But if you need to pick your major, please email me. And that's it.
I just hope everybody's still doing well. The weather's nice today. A little rain tomorrow, but then the weekend should be really, really nice. So try to get outside. Try to get a little exercise and enjoy the weather while it's reasonably warm and not like summertime yet. So I'll go for a couple bike rides probably. Just to that's my get out of the house excuse. little afternoon cardio. So hope everybody's doing well. Anybody else want to say anything before we sign off?
No, just hope everybody's being safe.
Almost the summer.
Yeah,
Right.
only 1 week left, so please do your work.
Yeah, especially seniors, the deadline is real. The 11th, their grades are closed and you're done.
Like now.
Dr. G is not going to have time at all.
No excuses. Dr. G is not taking excuses, and if you don't pass, you go to summer school and you don't graduate until you go to summer school.
And even though it seems like for freshmen, sophomores, and juniors that you have a little bit extra time, which you do, right? That date on the 17th, a week later, is also a hard deadline. No changes after 1 p.m.
Well, let's talk about summer school real quick. Let's just say you are a student that has to go to summer school. We're not offering, and your home district, we have to figure out who's offering what. I know Jersey City is not even offering it to freshmen this year. So if you live in Jersey City and you're a freshman and you need summer school, you have to pay for it yourself on EduSeal. So we have to figure out, if who the students are in their specific districts. So we don't know too much about all the districts. I saw yesterday Jersey City is not offering it to ninth graders, so that's kind of bad. Just
to keep enrollment down? Is that the idea there?
I have no clue. But
they don't have space.
Yeah, it said they weren't even supposed to do it in the first place, and now it's like only doing 10 to 12. So ninth graders have to take the EduSeal then, I guess.
And if you need EduSeal, you have to contact me. I'm the go-to person for EduSeal.
Well, let's not get in that position, and everybody gets their grades up in the next week, and then you don't have to worry about it.
I don't like
about this.
We have to mention summer school because it's real for some.
Yeah.
No, I know. Yeah. All right, so I think that'll do it. Everybody, stay safe and have a good weekend, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.